Hello and welcome to the second tutorial in my series of minor glitch tutorials. This one will cover a glitch called Superspeed. And Superspeed, of course, is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's this glitch where you make Link run super duper fast. Seems like magic, but hopefully I can demystify it a little bit. There's two separate elements to this glitch. And I'll go over both of them separately, and it's important to identify them separately because they have separate nuances that affect them, that can affect how you execute this glitch. The first of which is to put Link in what we call a glitched state, which means that some condition that he has is glitched, basically. And the second, of course, is actually activating the speed itself. In the glitch state, you won't actually be moving fast, but there will be some other things that change, and these are important to understand well. So there's several ways to activate the Superspeed glitch state, but there's really only one way to activate the speed afterwards. There are some strangenesses to it that I'll have to explain as well, but first I'll talk about how to get into the glitch state and how to know that you've gotten into it. First of all, you can do a spin dash. A spin dash is when you charge your sword, and then the first frame after releasing the B button, you have to press the A button. And you'll know you got it because you cannot slash your sword. You can see I'm pressing the B button and nothing's happening. You can also tell because some of Link's animations will be sped up. Like when he's pushing against this wall, his feet are moving a lot faster than normal. Those are a couple of the ways that you can identify that you've activated the glitch properly. So I guess I should explain the physical technique here because that's an important part about this. It's probably one of the most important things. Unfortunately, I can't show my hands while I'm playing, but I can try to explain it in as much detail as I can. There's a couple of different popular techniques here. One of the most popular ones is to slide your thumb across the buttons. So you hold down the B button, you'll make sure that your thumb is not touching the A button at all while doing this, and then you simply slide your thumb across the A button, off the B button, and across the side of the controller. It should make a loud noise. You can probably hear it when I do it, and that works pretty well. The technique that I like to use is actually to roll my thumb from the B button to the A button. This way is really nice because you can actually recover if you make a mistake on the dash. If you hit the A button early, Link will actually charge the dash a little bit instead of releasing the spin. And if you do the roll technique, you can actually roll from A back to B. So if you hit the button early, you can recover. If you hit the button late, Link will spin without kicking up any dust, and you'll simply not get the glitch state, so you'll know you failed that way. So this does give you a little bit of leniency, a little bit of an ability to recover, but it's not a huge benefit really. So with this technique, I'm gonna put my thumb basically sideways, perpendicular to the controller. If the plane of the thumbnail, I should say, should be perpendicular to the plane of the controller. And I'm going to have the left side of it against the B button. And then you want to rotate over an axis, an imaginary axis between the two buttons. You don't want to use the point of contact between your thumb and the B button as the rotational axis, because then you'll simply flatten your thumb against the A button and not actually release the B button. So you want to imagine there's a point of rotation between the two buttons and rotate across that, so your thumb is basically 180 degrees rotated when you hit the A button, and that should work. And then usually I'll switch back to the B button just in case I failed it. The sword will stay charged, and you can just try again. So that is the spin dash. An easier technique is to use an item dash. You can see how to do an item dash in the first tutorial of this minor glitches series. We're going to do this with the hook shot. You basically just do an item dash with a hook shot, do the same test to see if you've activated the glitch properly. If you can't slash your sword, then you know you are successful. You can also do an item dash with a medallion, though this is obviously less common because the duration of the medallion animation has to play out in its entirety. And again, I have succeeded in activating the glitch because I can't slash my sword. So I'll probably use hook dashes for the most part, just because they're so simple and quick to do, just to activate the glitch, and then to show the activation of the speed itself will be a little more convenient. Okay, so to activate the super speed, you need to walk off of a staircase or a ladder, not necessarily on the overworld, but they need to be non-automatic stairs. That means that you manually walk up and down them. There are some in dungeons that work like this, but most of the ones in dungeons will just sort of pull you up or pull you down the stairs automatically. So they have to be non-automatic stairs. And it activates by walking off of them. Now you can start off the stairs and then walk onto them just a little bit and then walk off in order to get the speed. There's a few strangenesses to this though. Sometimes you'll see people kind of walk on and walk off a bunch of times and like they can't quite get the glitch, and then suddenly they'll get it and you wonder what they've been doing wrong. Well, I'll tell you what they were doing wrong. Some people think that you have to walk off of the stairs in a lateral direction, like either up or down, parallel to the stairs. But that's not actually true. If you're facing, let me activate the super speed glitch and then I can show this. If you're facing north or south, you can actually hold diagonal as you exit the stairs, and you'll achieve the glitch, no matter what. If you're facing left or right, however, and you hold diagonal, you will not activate the glitch if Link's sprite is partially overlapping normal ground when you start moving. If Link's sprite is entirely on the stairs where none of it is overlapping normal ground, and you hold diagonal to leave the stairs, you will activate the speed. What you most likely see people doing when they fail this though, is in staircases like this, we try to get off of it so fast and change direction without moving down in any extra amount. They're probably switching to the left or right input before they're fully off the stairs. And if you do that, then you'll never achieve the speed. Walking left or right off the stairs like this will never activate the speed. You have to walk off the stairs first and then change direction. And that's how that works. Now I guess it's worth noting, and what you'll see a lot of the time is people will actually be on the stairs when they activate the glitch, and that's perfectly fine. You can do a spin dash on stairs and then walk off. You can do a hook dash on stairs and then walk off. The only important thing to remember is you cannot do a spin dash while facing sideways on stairs, because the dash charge is being interrupted by the spin. So pressing A will actually start a dash charge, which then gets immediately cancelled, but doesn't really get cleaned up properly, and that's what activates the glitch state. But if you're directly against a wall, Link will actually grab it instead of charging the dash at all. So you will never be able to activate super speed while facing sideways on stairs, or if you're facing any objects that Link is capable of grabbing instead of charging a dash. The reason why it's important to have a distinction between the glitch state and the speed itself is because they do behave in somewhat different ways. If I activate the speed glitch itself, you can see I can't slash my sword. If I take damage, I still can't slash my sword because the glitch state has not been removed. If I achieve the speed, however, and then I do take damage, the speed will be removed, but the glitch state will still be active, so I can go back to stairs and reactivate it quickly. This is kind of important because you may be doing a super speed glitch and get hit by an enemy, and then immediately turn to try to slash him with your sword, but you won't be able to, and you really need to know that you can cancel it with the A button to start charging a dash. That'll cancel the super speed glitch state, and then you can slash the enemy. Other things which do cancel the glitch state are jumping off of a ledge. That'll cancel it, and also using a screen transition. It does not persist between different screens. So there's also a few ways that you can increase your speed specifically on stairs when using super speed. Normally your movement is slowed down when you're doing something like holding your sword out or carrying an object, but it's slowed down much more on stairs. So if you were able to restore the movement speed with your sword out on stairs, even though that would normally be slower than normal movement, it would be a speed increase, and you actually can do that. And there's really nothing special to it. You just have to hold your sword out and then activate the super speed glitch. And that's kind of difficult because you have to do an item dash with the hook dash, or with the hook shot specifically, with your sword out. So you gotta hold B and then hit Y and A on the same frame in order to do it. There's no real way to determine that you got it successfully, at least not by slashing your sword, but you can look at Link's animation, and if it does appear sped up, then you know you've gotten it. And of course, the real way to know you've gotten it is to walk on stairs and see if you're moving a lot faster than normal. And if you are, then of course you achieved it. You can also, oh, and I guess it's also worth mentioning that if you do choose to do this to get up the stairs faster, you still have the super speed glitch state off the stairs. Another thing you can do is to do your activate your super speed, and then either pick up a bomb or a Canis Samaria block, and you can walk up the stairs much faster as well. Unfortunately, it does not work with a bush or a rock or something. And if the Canis Samaria block is on screen, you have a hard time activating the super speed glitch. You have to walk all the way deep onto the stairs and then walk off. And then even if you do, it gets cancelled shortly afterwards. It's super weird. In fact, the Canis Samaria has some weird dashing rules already. If you throw it and then dash, if it lands while you're in the middle of dashing, it slows you down. That's pretty funny. That has nothing to do with super speed, but it's worth showing just because it's related to the effects that the Canis Samaria block has on the super speed glitch. So I'd recommend using a bomb. You can nearly get up this entire staircase using the bomb climb. So that's what I recommend. Just throw it away before it blows you up. You may have noticed when I was carrying those objects that Link's animation seemed a little funny. And yeah, it sure does. When you're carrying objects and you have the super speed glitch activated, he does kind of spin around like a little bit spastically. If you find a staircase that's wide enough that you can move side to side on it, you can actually gain a lot more speed by moving diagonal after you've activated a super speed glitch. So instead of moving straight down these stairs, what you'll want to do is just move diagonal across them. You can even zigzag if you want, and you gain a lot of speed on the y-axis doing it this way. Well, there's not too much to super speed as far as execution and everything. It's a pretty simple glitch. There is one warning that I feel like I should give before ending this tutorial. If you do a super speed glitch, whether you have the speed or not, as long as the glitch state is activated at all, you can walk through corners of some walls just by holding diagonal. And while that is a cool thing, it does qualify as an out-of-bounds glitch. And of course, I'll go into out-of-bounds glitches in more detail in the out-of-bounds tutorial. So you want to be careful if you're doing a speedrun category where out-of-bounds is not allowed. You don't want to accidentally jump out of bounds. So that's just a quick warning if you're not careful. Well, I think that's all for this one. Make sure to have fun. That's always the most important thing. And I'll see you next time.